Welcome one and all to Yorkshire Gamer, and today I'm going to have a look at a relatively new project here at Yorkshire Gamer, and that's going to be World War II 15mm Kursk. And I did a few Russians a couple of years ago and didn't really do much more with it for a while, and I've picked up some boxes of the Plastic Soldier Company tanks to make up, and it's a bit of a personal project really. I just fancied making some tanks up, and I've got a big collection of 28mm desert stuff and a massive, and I mean massive, collection of 6mm late war stuff. So I didn't want to duplicate theatres and eras, and the sort of big hole, if you like, in my World War II collection was Russian front, and I chose to go for Kursk because it's kind of the last time that the Germans were really in a position to do a major offensive. The last time that, you know, you didn't have one German tank against a Russian tank division, and the equipment that was being used was relatively similar in performance. Yes, the Germans had the super tanks like the Tigers that we're looking at now, but they were few and far between, and also it was the first time in battle, so they're quite mechanically unreliable. So I'm just going to go through in this video the start of my German stuff, and we'll see how the project develops or doesn't over the coming years. So as I say, these are from Plastic Soldier Company, and they do build up rather nicely. The figures come with the kit, and the decals are from Pendraken. They do a lovely range of decals. They do the German numbers with black, they do the German numbers with red, and also clear. I've done this deliberately as not any specific unit, although this tank, Tank 217, is most commonly associated with Tank Ace Otto Carius, who wrote the book Tigers in the Mud, which is a must if you, I think, if you're going to do any World War II wargaming. You have options for commanders in the top. You can have both guys out or nobody out, and a nice little feature on this particular, and on this one here, as you can see, you can have a driver poking his head out there. So you can have quite a nice dynamic range of different looks with the vehicle. You can also, these spare track sections that you can stick all over the place. So on this one here, we've covered the area where the number would go. So just for on-table recognition, I've put the number on the back there. So that's the Tigers, really nice. Let's have a look at the other big cat next. So here we have the Panthers, and these had their first combat encounter at Kursk, and things didn't go very well for them at all. They were deployed poorly, they were mechanically unsound, and it wasn't a very good battle for them. So although you might be licking your lips at, oh, we've got Panthers versus T-34 76s, these guys are going to break down probably before they get anywhere near the front, and that'll be introduced into our rules. We already have a fairly decent breakdown system that we use quite regularly in our desert war games, so we're just going to transfer that forward to these. The gorgeous models, again, you've got options with the crew. You can have the front two guys out or bottomed up, and obviously you can have the tank commander out on top. Tank number wise, on these, during Kursk, the Panthers tended to be added on to like an extra company, so there'd be quite high numbers. If you look at the pictures from Kursk, they're normally 7s, 8s or 9s, and I did struggle with those numbers with the decals that I had, so I've gone with whatever I can rather than have like a sequential numbering between the vehicles. So that's the Panther. There's 5 of those. There's no particular grand scheme in terms of this. I've just bought a box of each of the main German tanks for now. So let's have a look at the next one, and that was the Stugs. So here we have the Stugs, and 5 models in the box, so we've got 5 models, and they're all Stug Threes, Stug 3Gs, and by the time we get to Kursk, quite a lot of this additional side armour had been added on. One thing I did do when I put these together was look quite extensively at shots or photographs specifically from Kursk, and you can see a lot of the Stugs are fitted with the side skirts for this particular battle. One thing I did notice as well, most of the stuff that I looked at was only 2-tone camo rather than the later more popular 3-tone camo. So this is just green and the dunkel underneath the yellowy brown colour. That's why you're not looking at the 3-colour system that's probably later more common. I certainly couldn't find any pictures of tanks from that era with the 3rd colour on. So that's why I've stuck with that colour. Another thing with these as well is I couldn't find any pictures at all of Stugs at Kursk with numbering. So something that will happen quite often here at Yarkshire Gamer, and I'm sure throughout game tables around the world, is I decided to put numbers on the side skirts for tabletop recognition, so that we can tell which tank or assault gun in this particular case is which assault gun. So these are not particularly historical accurate. In fact, I can only find numbers on the sides of these 44 onwards. So yeah, rivet counters out there. I'm sure Mr. Palm Tree will come back and have a word about it. But yeah, they're on there for me for tabletop recognition. Stugs, really, really nice, like those. Who doesn't love a Stug at the end of the day? Next up, Panzer Fours, and by the time we get to Kursk, we're mostly 4Gs and 4Hs, and with the side armour, I've done mostly these with all side armour on, although if you look at pictures you'll see bits hanging off. Unfortunately my modelling skills are not quite up to cutting blocks out of the side skirts, which I do think looks really good when you see it, and a lot of the contemporary photographs do show that. I just don't have the modelling skills for it. So I've just got one tank on the end there that hasn't got any additional armour around the turret. Once again, the detail on these is absolutely superb. Really, really good. Like these a lot. 2-tone camo, as we spoke about earlier on. I've not done a massive amount of weathering on these because I don't think it particularly works on 15mm. But these guys are perfectly acceptable tabletop standard. I'm not going for any golden demons here. I'm going for a good, decent War Games table look. Just the driver doesn't, there's not an option to have a driver sticking his head out on this one. You just get the commander's cupola or not. So that's the Panzer Fours. And finally is these Panzer Threes. And again, these have got the side armour. A lot of the pictures from Kursk, the Panzer Threes seems to be the ones that have either got it or they haven't, and there's a lot of battered stuff. There's a lot of side skirts, nothing on the turret, nothing on the side skirts, or nothing at all. So I've done these as a big mix of different types of side or applique armour or whatever it's officially known as. I really like these models. They are gorgeous. The little Panzer Threes. these are the mainstay. These and the Fours are the mainstay of the German army at Kursk, and I will certainly be getting more Threes and Fours. I've got 4 Tigers and 5 Panthers, and that's it. I don't need any more. But I will be getting a lot more Threes, Stugs, and Fours. So these are really detailed, and I really like these. They've got like a little sports car look about them, and they made me smile when I put those together. I like those a lot. And great models from Plastic Soldier Company. Lots of detail on there. Great for putting pin washes in just to bring out the detail. And for the amount of time I spent on them, I couldn't be happier. If you follow the Twitter feed, you might have seen that I was on holiday in Scotland for a fortnight, and I've painted all these German tanks and all the Russian tanks that you'll see in the corresponding video next week during a 2-week holiday. Just, you know, an odd hour in the evening, odd hour in the afternoon, etc. So really crack through these, and I'm probably going to do some solo gaming with them, because I think now we're not going to get any gaming for at least 6 months. So I'm going to do some solo gaming here, and look out for those videos. So I'll come back in a minute. I'll get them all lined up, and we'll see them all together. So there we go, everyone. There is the start of my 15mm World War II Kursk project for the Germans. This is basically one pack or one box of each of the tank types I wanted for the Germans. So 4 Tigers, 5 Panthers, 5 Stugs, 5 Fours and 5 Threes. And as I said a moment ago, that's it for Tigers and Panthers. Don't need any more of those. Stugs, Fours, Threes, yeah, I'll get at least one more box of each of those. And I've got some infantry and some anti-tank guns that you might have seen on the last monthly update for September, and some half tracks as well, that they all need painting. I've got a bit further on with the Russians that you'll see next week, and it's going to be one of those projects that I'll just tinker away at, chip away at the edges, and probably do some solo gaming with it over the next few months. So keep your eye out for those videos, and I'll see you soon.